Welcome. We've got Skibbity Riz Fantano back with another horrible take. You've got to look at the image up here. We've got Skibbity Riz Toilet Fantano on the subway with the rat, and they're giving these horrible takes. Let's just get right into it. Let's look at the video.
So what's your take?
Algorithms are ruining everyone's music taste.
100% disagree.
They're making everyone's taste more collectively homogenized. And when you look at the fact that the major labels are invested in platforms like Spotify, the pen of artists that they're going to be pushing to you the most is just going to get smaller and smaller to their biggest cash cows.
I like Spotify Discover. That's how I discover music. I don't really want to go to some guy and hear a bunch of, you should listen to this, because that's kind of gay.
If that is gay, I'm the gayest man on the planet.
I want to...
Okay, you just heard it here. He's, in fact, the most homosexual individual on the planet. Now, they're joking. They're saying this in jest is what you think. It doesn't matter, actually. That's not the whole point. No, the whole point is he thinks we're in the algorithm age, and that this means that everyone has a homogenized taste because of algorithms and corporations. Well, first thing, Mr. Fantano, Al Gore invented the internet. Nothing to disagree with, actually. I just thought you should know that. No, but this is before we dismantle Anthony Fantano's take, because I have it written. I've got the notes here. I've got the files. I've got the receipts, the receipts. Once again, it's Connor Farrell, world famous Gen Z rock star. Anyways, just in case you thought, that's my band, Black Licorice, right here. That's our song Down the Drain. This is our song Getting Closer. Both off of our first LP named Number One, because we are the number one greatest band of all time. Anyways, rock band of all time. And band in general. Come on, let's get real, people. Anyways, so here's the thing we need to look at before we dismantle Anthony Egghead Skibbity Riz. Once again, Skibbity Riz Fantano. We just saw him talk with this rat on the subway. Let's see if I can move this even further. I'm going where no man has gone before. I'm showing you the entire TV back there. Do you see that? Do you see that Skibbity Riz man Fantano? And so I'm going to tell you how we're sticking the landing on the ship with this one, boys. Oh, shoot. My camera is tilted. Now it's back perfect. Where you belong. Now, my little princess, Pencil Neck Daffodil Fantano here, actually has the exact opposite. He is the inverse take of Rick Beato. Rick Beato, another famous music influencer. He just made a video on this, and I just did a dismantling of his position. But what is funny is they agree on something. It's the algorithm age. What's the problem is that Anthony Fantano says because of the algorithm, everyone, Skibbity Egghead up there, that guy, Fantano, we just saw him, the most homosexual man in existence. He says, according to him, I'm not saying that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually like really powerful and brave and stunning. Anyways, everyone has the same taste due to algorithms and corporations. That's his take. Now, Rick Beato says the inverse, the exact opposite. He has a video called The Death of Genre, in which he says, Rick Beato, if you're not familiar, Beato is a video game. Rick Beato is a music YouTuber, and he's a boomer. And he likes to scream at the clouds. I like boomers, and I like screaming at the clouds. So there's nothing wrong with that. But in this video, he did scream at the clouds. He did, in fact, crash out. Rick Beato, the video game, he crashed out and was screaming at the clouds. And he said, the death of genre, we have hyper-personalized algorithms annihilating the existence of any possible broader genre movements with people listening to music. No one's listening to things together. No one's having cultural movements and music enjoyment. Instead, we have these singular genres where the algorithm is tailoring this exact playlist of songs, infinitely long or just unreasonably large playlists that you could never get through during your lifetime, of exactly music just for you, perfectly chosen. And so then you've got these individuals. You've got these individual genres of one. You know what I mean? And none of them are correlated with anyone else's music. So your music might be like going and getting this song. We might have a couple things here, but I have a different, completely random set of things. There might be like one or two, but really, like, we don't even know any of the same songs. We don't know any of the same songs. I don't know AC/DC. I don't know any of this stuff. I never heard any of it when I'm at, I don't know, Walmart, and then said, oh, that was cool, and then put it on my phone and went to listen to it later. No, that definitely didn't happen. And so we like know all the same songs, or they're not in movies that everyone watches. And like definitely people don't watch old famous movies that have songs in them. And definitely people don't listen to the radio. And definitely, no, none of that happens. We all have these hyper-personalized things. Anyways, that one's too ridiculous to even start with. But that's the point. So they both call it the algorithm era, the age of the algorithms. It's algorithms that have done this. Beato says everyone's hyper individual. There's no more genre. It's the death of genre, which is just completely ridiculous. And then Egghead, Skibbity Egghead, once again, he says that due to Al Gore and corporations, everyone has the exact same taste. So there's only one genre of music versus there is infinite genres, and they're completely unrelated. Which is it? Well, it's neither. Now, the biggest disproof of Rick Beato's idea that everyone has their own taste and none of it overlaps, everyone's got these individual little perfect snowflakes of taste that the algorithm is giving them. Here's the thing. He also made another video, which I just dismantled, called Yacht Rock is BS. Yacht rock is Rick Beato's favorite genre. Rick, I know you love yacht rock. Yacht rock is your favorite genre. And what it is a bunch of like soft, kind of chill rock music with all of these session musicians from like the 70s and 80s. And basically, you would see, if you looked in the comments of his video, people were saying, like, anyone who's been to the record industry knows that Steely Dan and Toto, these bands that are considered yacht rock, which is a new genre that's emerged during Spotify, during these algorithms, during this era, this term, yacht rock, this grouping of artists, this cultural music enjoyment movement, this cultural movement in music enjoyment, this large cultural movement in music enjoyment has led to Toto and Steely Dan records being in the bargain bin at the record stores, selling for barely $1, and they could barely even sell them, till now, because of yacht rock, this collective, larger cultural movement of people listening to the music and telling their friends and putting it on the playlist, and they hear it on the friends playlist, and then they do it, and they put it on the playlists. This has caused it so these records that barely sold for $1 at the bin, and that my parents would call, in fact, G-A-Y, and lots of people would call it very G-A-Y music, very soft and lame, and, you know, all the sorts of things. It now is being cherished and celebrated, and those records are now selling for like $40, $50, $60. You can't keep them in stock long enough at inflated prices. And the reason is because kids who found out about yacht rock, my age, people, I'm 22, these young people, my age and younger, were all listening to it and like, oh, let's go check it out. And so that's a disproof of Rick Beato saying that no one has in these larger movements. Now, the second thing is even funnier. It's Fantano's take. So we did the inverse Beato take. We did Beato, which was the death of genre. Now we're going to handle the inverse Beato. So we get back to Pencil Neck Daffodil, Anthony Fantano, Egghead, Skibbity Egghead, talking once again with the Subway Surfer hipster rat. And that's the point. First off, Al Gore, once again, invented the internet. We need to make sure you know that Al Gore invented the internet. It's important for you to know because there are three things. See, I'm doing it like a German person does. If you've ever seen Inglourious Bastards, the Germans, they do this, and the American spies, pretending to be Germans, did this. That's how they knew they were spies. A big shootout happens, but I'm doing it like this because I saw Inglourious Bastards. And the whole reason I say this is because Al Gore invented the internet. So the idea is that everyone's got the same musical taste because corporations push it to everyone, and the Al Gore rhythm is a tool for the corporations to push whatever three artists, cash cows he calls them, that the people make the most money from, these corporation people. Here's 3 easy steps to debunk this. Rabbit holes. You have the internet, so you can go down a rabbit hole. Rabbit hole. And you can find stuff. 2017, my guitar teacher says, hey, listen to this Masayoshi Takanaka, The Rainbow Goblins. This is a cool album. Primus just made an album called The Rainbow Goblins, adapting and doing a soundtrack based off of this children's story, and it's a really cool, interesting record of this, based off this children's story about the Rainbow Goblins that came out like a long time ago by this Italian painter. And then my teacher goes, hey, you know, I'm a softer guy who likes jazzier music. This guy, Masayoshi Takanaka, this jazz rock guitarist from the 80s from Japan, he did a similar concept. He adapted the exact same story into an album, the exact same concept, but it's completely different. We should learn some songs off this. And so then I found a huge rabbit hole and went down this rabbit hole and learned all this music. I had a music teacher who taught me about this band called the Cardiacs. I went down a huge rabbit hole there. In 10th grade, I had to do a book report on a rock musician. I knew my dad loved Frank Zappa. I hadn't listened to any of his music. And so I took Frank Zappa, but then I went to go learn, listen to his music and write a report. And I was like, I don't like this. It was just weird. I couldn't figure out how to get into it. I didn't know what was supposed to get me, get me into it. So I said, let me swap to The Who. And I wrote a report about The Who, and that worked well. But then I started getting into Frank Zappa because I told my dad, "Hey, I chose him because I always knew you liked him, but I couldn't find anything." He's like, "No, you shouldn't have." And so I started listening to Frank Zappa, and one of his drummers on one of his live albums, he's talking about this person's on saxophone, this person on tenor, whatever, sax, and Terry Bozzio on drums. And so then I go, Terry Bozzio. Let me Google. That guy sounds like a cool drummer. And I go down this whole rabbit hole on Terry Bozzio. There's a song, Walking in LA. Ding, ding. Walking in LA. Nobody walking in LA. Walking in LA. It is a good song, but the whole point is I found out that band Missing Persons was actually Terry Bozzio, the drummer, and his wife. And then there was a prog group, super group with Terry Bozzio, called UK, I believe. And I believe he was the drummer in UK. Yeah. And then there was another one called Bozzio Levin Stevens. Steve Stevens, guitarist, played with Billy Idol. And that, I mean, it's just incredible if you go listen to those songs. And Tony Levin, bassist, who played with King Crimson, among, lots of other stuff. But all three of these guys, I found this all out because my teacher mentioned, hey, we're going to do a music project. And I knew that my dad liked Frank Zappa. And so then I'm going here, and then I get into Alan Holdsworth, who played guitar in the band UK with Terry Bozzio, who was the drummer. And so you go down all of these paths, and then I get into King Crimson from Tony Levin, and then I start getting into Billy Idol from Steve Stevens. And so all of this happens from this rabbit hole adventure journey, and it's fun. And going down the rabbit hole is fun. And some of it's on the internet. I had a music teacher who said, go listen to this band, the Cardiacs. I really got into that. And so it's like, it's fun to go down a rabbit hole and to discover things the algorithm's not showing to you. So that's the first of the three things, the first of the three. That's the thumb. Now, the second thing, hipsters like you, Fantano. Hipsters like you and the Subway Surfer. I didn't even call him Subway Surfer. Subway Surfer Rat Man. You guys, I'm Jewish. I can say he looks like a rat. He's a New Yorker. That's what they all look like, rats. Okay, it's not a racial thing. It's a geographic thing. You move to New York, you start growing whiskers. You start growing. Look at the man in the video. Does he not look like he's grown some ears? Potentially, he's grown. What is that? That's my mascot, Percival the Puma, mascot for the band Black Licorice, my band, greatest band of all time, number one. Anyways, world famous rock star, Gen Z rock star, Farrell. Anyways, this is important. The hipsters like you, point two, you live for finding things that no one else is listening to and going, oh, you're listening to Doja Cat. I'm listening to this. You've never heard of them. That is what people love doing. Your whole personality is saying, oh, you know that, I know this. I don't even think Fantano has any good music takes. Every time I watch a review, he just talks about, well, this is the cultural impact of the music and searing guitar leads. He doesn't actually talk about the music. And Rick Beato just talks about, like, well, this is diminished four chord, and I should really appreciate these guys and whatnot. He doesn't get at the fact that, like, okay, this doesn't rock or it does rock. Like, if I'm going to go into the gym and, like, do a serious, like, I need to get really amped up, this is going to be heavyweight, and if I drop it, I'm going to die, then I need some rock music. I need friggin' Peace Sells by Megadeth. I need friggin', Fell in Love with a Girl by the White Stripes. I need down now 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 down now 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 down 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 now 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 down now 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 down. I need Metallica. I need Creeping Death or whatever, which one that is. For whom the battles live after time. This is video brought to you by Marvel. Let's see. We got Wolverine. I wrote a beautiful, beautiful, like 8-minute rock song called Wolverine, where I steal the chorus from Killing Yourself to Live by Black Sabbath. This is not a great vocal day, so don't judge me based off of this. Go listen to the record when I'm actually like on track doing it, or talking for it, ears doing this stuff. Anyways, I'm doing these movements to keep you, fixated on the video. I'm totally normal. I'm a chill guy. Low key, I'm a chill guy for real. Low key. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, my chair's up high. There we go. Now we're eye to eye. Eye to eye. Can't believe I did a whole video like that. You probably couldn't even see me in the last video. I'm going to have to reshoot it. Oh my God, was it the Snyder cut? Anyways, reason number 2 was hipsters. And the third reason is let's look in the comments. I'm pointing at the screen so I know to edit this because I'm going to have to edit it later. Here we go. Algorithms are a blessing and a curse. Wow, that Anthony said was true. I love the change of YouTube's algorithm. It shows me small creators and low view count videos that I would never have seen or sought out myself. That's true. That's how you saw this video. I'm the gayest man on planet Earth. No comment. As someone who mostly listens to small indie bands, Spotify Discover pushes the smallest, most unheard of artists I've ever found. Regularly finding new bands with like 100 to like 1,000 listeners per month, occasionally even fewer. What? I actually credit YouTube's algorithm to a good chunk of my music taste. Yeah, I get tons of obscure stuff from music and from YouTube, from Spotify, from all these things. If anything, I'd argue Spotify is the weakest algorithm, just from my personal experience. The only time Spotify's been really good is the fans also like section at the bottom. You click up artist and you scroll down, and then it says fans also liked this. And I go through there and I just keep chaining through there until I find bands and I find the one good song from a band, sometimes even. But this is the whole point. When you compare it to the limited sections of MTV or radio stations of the past, kids today are hearing a lot of different music. And so this is where the third point comes in. It's looking at the comments. And so this is the whole point. And this is exactly why we don't listen to Fantano or Rick Beato. No, I mean, they're wonderful guys. I like their personality. I like their videos. But this is stupid. Is uninformed. Doesn't even make sense. Fantano doesn't even talk about music. He talks about the cultural impact of music. He doesn't actually talk if it's good or not. I truly don't believe that Fantano actually likes music. He likes talking about music. He likes talking about the cultural impact. That's a hipster. And because hipsters always want the new thing with the underground, this was underappreciated. Yeah, I want to listen to Lou Reed. Lou Reed sucks. The Velvet Underground is like bad. Like, I mean, they're dead now, and I'm not even going to glaze them to begin with. Be like, oh, I love them. I hope Lou Reed does an interview or collab with me. It's like, it's not good. You got a couple good songs, but like in general, it's not good. Not going to lie here and say it's good. You know, it's like it's not good. It's lame. But hipsters want to be like the impact and unappreciated. The Strokes, they were influenced. Like the Strokes were really good. I don't even think they were influenced by anything. Like I think you see interviews from the first records, like, we just picked up the guitars and like started rocking. We weren't thinking like, I'm going to take a Tom Petty thing and I'm going to take this thing. They're like, maybe we heard that. But we're just playing whatever sounds good. And then, so it's like that's the whole thing. But hipsters. So this is basically the disproof of why Egghead Fantano is always going to be wrong is because hipster maxing will always exist. It's inevitable. Pop music, this is why Rick Beato is wrong, is also inevitable. People will want to listen to the same music other people are listening to. It will move around. Friends will introduce each other to different things when they're hanging out together. So, because hipster maxing and pop music are inevitable, both of you are wrong. The Al Gore rhythm age is not some big shift in this whole thing. No. Music's not dead because this is all stupid. Everything everyone's saying is stupid, except for me. I'm right about everything all the time, as always, because I am the 190 IQ Jew. I keep it rocking. Ain't no stopping, okay? I'm frantic, I'm frenetic, I'm Farrell, Connor O'Farrell. It's in the name. What's in a name? No, hipster maxing and pop music are inevitable. They are features, not bugs. Once again, they are features, not bugs. So if you enjoyed this video, like the video if you liked the video, comment, tell me what you think. You disagree, you agree? Subscribe, please share this with a friend. And then if you have a band and you want to have a free fan club and host all your fans on a website where everyone else has their fan clubs for their band, you don't need to make a website and spend a bunch of money. You don't need to make a Patreon and post stuff where no one's seeing it because no one's paying you $2 because you're not famous yet. And you're not trying to send an email and make an email list and send stuff to their email box with spam. Like, just go to newrockdynasty.com. There's no algorithm. That's my website. I have a website called newrockdynasty.com. You can go there and you can post stuff. You can sell your merch. You can talk with your fans. You can do polls like, hey, should we make the new song? What cover design should we do, A or B? And you can post that, see what people like. It's not Instagram where if you post something that isn't viral, it's going to negatively affect your account, or TikTok where it's like, I don't know if anyone's seeing this. It's like on there, there's a pressure to always do everything viral and sensational. And if you just want to talk to people without having to do an email list or something and like keep track of all this stuff, go to newrockdynasty.com. If you want to sell your merch, do it there. You don't have to hawk it on Instagram. If you want to look at like where should we tour, how many fans do I actually have, like see who actually follows you on newrockdynasty.com. Those people are fans. So you might have 80,000 people follow you on Instagram. Will they actually buy tickets, buy t-shirts, stream your music? How close are you to having a career? You don't know. You go to newrockdynasty.com. You say, go follow me on this website no one's ever heard of. Go follow me there. If you'll follow me there, you actually are invested in what I'm doing. It's not Reddit where it's like people trying to get engagement. There's no ads. There's no bots. It's a website you can use. It's a tool. So if you want that, go use that. Can't say it and tell you. Uh-oh. The whole point was go to newrockdynasty.com if you have a band, if you want to make a living as a creator. That's the place you can do it. That's a tool for you to use. If you want to come on the show, reach out to me on Instagram, Twitter, wherever, write in the comments. Thanks for watching. You're going to see a video up there. Please watch it. Please like it. Subscribe. Send to a friend. And then here is going to be a thing with a playlist of The Rock Show with Connor O'Farrell, my podcast. And then there's going to be Percival the Puma, the logo for Black Licorice, our mascot. And then all the way on the left, there's going to be my face. You can click it to subscribe. And you're going to listen to the song Tell It To Me from Black Licorice as well. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, just let me know. Peace. Peace, love, and rock and roll, brother. A piece of love and rock and roll.